Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai, Barakata Yahweh, Barakata Yahweh Shai. All praise unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honest you brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. So this is going to be a quick video going into Esau. The people that rule the world have done videos like this in the past, and I'm sure brothers, when they saw this article, they did videos as well on this subject. But pretty much we got an epidemic, man. Okay, we got a major problem in that pretty much you got Esau out here destroying every damn thing, and as a result, no flesh is left, no flesh is safe. Okay, on the one hand, you got it to where people are the most psychologically messed up and physically messed up as they've ever been in any kingdom that's ever existed before, and you got it to where the animals too are jacked up. Now there was a good documentary which I did a video on not too long ago, which was called "Drowning in Plastic." So this is almost like a continuation of that. And so pretty much, as you can tell from the article, you got this animal here, this whale, basically found dead because they had 6 kilograms of plastic, which, 6 kilograms of plastic. Remember, you gotta remember, plastic ain't like wood. Maybe you swallow a wood chipping or whatever. That's gonna break down within your system. But this plastic is gonna stick around there forever and ever. Okay, so these animals, they be dropping dead as a result. Okay, so I'll read a little bit of the excerpts and then I'm going to go into the scripture. So it says a sperm whale has been found dead in Indonesia with 115 plastic cups and 25 plastic bags in its stomach. Okay, raising concerns among environmentalists and throwing the spotlight on the country's rubbish problem. Now, what they're gonna do out here within the West, they're gonna make it into a so-called third world problem. Okay, they're gonna make it out like they're the wise ones, and pretty much everybody out there outside of the so-called Western world has got it backwards. But the reality of the situation is that these are people out here. Okay, the Edomites that rule the world right now, and I'm gonna prove that they're the ones that created the problem in the first place. And you had the same thing happening with the so-called industrial revolution. Here it is, they came up with technologies, all right, that put all kind of chemicals in the air, all right, when they burnt coal on that, and they sold those technologies to the so-called Eastern world. Okay, so you got people out there within the so-called Eastern world, all right, jacking up the air they breathe because they got the technologies from the West, but then the West, demonizes them, which is the same thing you're having up here. Okay, because those plastic cups, plastic bags, and it might seem like a trivial thing, but that's a major problem, man. Okay, you're not talking about some small animal here. These are sperm whales. Aren't sperm whales one of the biggest organisms on the earth, and they're dropping dead as a result of plastics. Now here's where it gets interesting, because there's a thing called bioaccumulation. So if you got it to where the whales are getting it, you better believe, okay, by the time you're dealing with humans and that, okay, because plastic breaks down into very small fragments. It doesn't actually disappear. It just gets chopped up like sand. But here's the thing with sand. Sand's going to break down within your system, okay? Right? There's certain things that the Most High made, compounds, okay, dealing with science. There's certain compounds that the Most High made that break down within your system, because naturally, if you're going to pick apples up, you're going to have some residue, okay? So the residue is going to be broken, is going to be able to be broken down. But if you're going to have plastic residue, well, guess what? That's going to stick within your system, man, and jack you the hell up. That's why you got people with all types of cancers and this, that, and the third. Okay, so let's start here within the first precept here, the book of Job, the 9th chapter, on the 24th verse. It says, "The earth is given into the hand of the wicked, and covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where who is it?" Okay, so pretty much, all right, the earth is given into the hands of Esau. All right, and as a result, the whole world is jacked up. The scripture says that they're the wicked, and they cover the faces of the judges. Who's the judges, man? The Israelites, the Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, all right, that are throughout the four corners of the earth, that are just in hell, right? They're in captivity. But as a result of being in captivity, you had it to where there's been a role reversal of rulership. So the people that are in rulership right now and managing the earth, they're the worst people that you could ever imagine to manage the earth. Here it is, you had the Babylonians and you had the so-called wonders of the earth that the Babylonians came up with, of which you're going to believe that Jake may have been up in there, bringing, the scripture says Jacob is the former of all things. And I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's possible you would have had Israelite blood up in there, okay, doing beautiful things. Okay, and then you had the Medo-Persians, okay, and then of course, when I said the Babylonians, I was talking about like Nimrod Babylon, but really the Babylonians, like you read about the book of Daniel, they took Jake into captivity. So I was really talking about a previous time, because Babylon was really a region and a province before it came to prominence. Okay, so you had it to where the Babylonians came just before who? They came just before the Medo-Persians, okay, but they took down the Assyrians. But guess what? The Babylonians prior to the Assyrians were just like a state, like how you have, I don't know, Washington D.C. or whatever. They was there, but they weren't doing big things like that. So when they came into prominence, who did they have? They had the Israelites up in there creating stuff, and they had their goodies and whatever. All right, but all in all, they had a functioning system that didn't destroy the earth. Ever since the earth is given in unto these Edomites, these Greeks, these Romans, you had all kind of problems, man. Okay, you've had all kind of problems. Okay, so it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not wherein, who is he? Okay, so continuing now, I'm going to get another precept, the book of Micah, the 2nd chapter and the 10th verse. And this is going into what? This is going into the mindset you're supposed to be in, because you got some Jakes out there, some Israelites out there, and their mindset is on building up within the society and having it to where their children have children, their children's children have children, and that's just crazy. Okay, so Micah 2:10, it says, "Arise, ye depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, and it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction." So pretty much, okay, if you got your heart invested within this place, okay, and you're looking for the longevity of this place, you're crazy. Okay, the scripture says within the book of Ecclesiasticus, the 7th chapter and the 7th verse, all right, pretty much the wise, okay, was going to complain about all of this stuff that's happening out here. Basically, a wise man was going to be continuously complaining, man, because it's a jacked up, let's just be real about it. This is a jacked up place to live in, man. Okay, you got to send your kids out there. You don't know what they're eating. You don't know what they're eating. Okay, you have a so-called apple pie, which is supposed to have like 4 or 5 ingredients. The damn thing's got like 15 ingredients. Supposed to be flour, sugar, apples, and maybe some cinnamon. Simple, but Esau puts all kind of preservatives. And the thing about preservatives is going to go in your system. Now, going back onto this thing of the plastics, man, by the time, you're talking about if Lord's will, this kingdom don't last another 50 years. But if this kingdom lasted another 50 years, the whole world, all the rivers within the world will be covered full of plastic, man. Okay, it will be a major epidemic. See, what this man's basically led the whole world to believe is that he's so smart and ingenious, when the reality of the situation is he's the anti-life, okay? He's anti-life. Everything that he does is against life. Here it is, you have a mobile phone within your pocket, and it's destroying your the cells within your body. Here it is, you got a plastic bottle that you're drinking out of, and here it is making you sterile. Okay, so he's anti-life. Okay, so I'm gonna get one more precept. All right, and this precept is flesh left to save. Excuse me, I don't have the best memory when we're remembering scriptures. Okay, flesh left to save. Let's just put flesh and save. It's probably in the book of Matthew, isn't it? Oh, okay, Mark 13:20 says, "And except those days be shortened, the rulership of Esau, except that the Lord had shortened those days, no flesh should be saved, but for the elect's sake whom he hath chosen, he hath shortened those days." So pretty much the Most High is going to speed this thing up so that not everybody just dies out here. Okay, so pretty much, that's the video. With that, I'm going to say, all praises unto Yahweh, Shimi Al-Shai, Wahara Kakadash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone. Honestly, brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. You can see, man, this man is basically he's destroyed life, man. The very principles of life, okay, which is just a fish being born in water living, a fish lifestyle. Okay, so with that, I'm going to say, oh, praise unto Yahweh Shem Yahshai. Okay, double honors unto your apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.